Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday, whatever it is, the 17th of January. Had to have a look for a moment. Goodness, it's flying past, isn't it? So, looking at the euro dollar first, and alright, well, yesterday it did push up. It did give us a higher low, higher high, and it continued in that mode, although it sold off towards the end of the day there, and ended up with this bit of shooting star. Now, question is whether today can continue the upside or whether we're going to see a bit of a rollover. Looking at where we are at the moment on 4 hours here into the 34 moving average, it's all looking okay at the moment on here. Then coming down to the 60, well, you do wonder with that sell-off whether we'll see a break of these lows. If it does start breaking the lows across here, well, we could get a play down towards its S1 and what was that, Wednesday's high lows even. If I'll get to it in a minute. So that would be where I'm looking for at the moment. I may be able to get a better trade off the short time frames, but we'll have a look at that later. But for now, that's what I'm looking at. There is the daily pivot untouched above, so just be aware of that if it does start rallying, because that's where it will probably aim for. Right, the pound on daily basis, another smallish old day. There was the volatility where we had these sort of much bigger bars in December, okay, quietish month, November, biggish October. We've gone back to, we've got some really small old rangy bars here. Although yesterday, unlike the dollar there, euro even, it managed to continue pushing up and held up, and is looking a little bit more bullish, maybe for that eventually for that weekly pivot it's aiming for. As we look at the moment, is there any divergence across the highs here on this MACD? Probably a bit of maybe a bit of divergence running across the highs here, not massively clear. Untouched daily pivot still at the lows there. That may, with the euro coming off a little bit, maybe we'll see the pound also come off, and just watch out for that daily pivot at around about 130.62. That may well get hit. If it continues, well, really, I'm sort of looking at prior highs here, and looking back, with the 200 may get in the way of that weekly pivot, but we have got other prior highs around this sort of area, so we may find a bit of resistance into that level, but if it attempts it a second time, it may just push through. But okay, news out this morning there on retail sales as well on the pound, so got to be a bit wary of that, particularly with the comments we've seen coming from the ECB members. ECB, MPC members. I'm getting it all muddled this morning, so I do apologise. Okay, dollar yen. Dollar yen, well, pushed up, broken through. As I said, it's been looking half decent for some continuation to the downside there, but just not doing it at the moment. Popping back up there, scooted back in, just broken the prior highs there. Bit of divergence running across the highs, so we'll see what happens from that. Daily pivot below, if it starts breaking down a bit earlier, may just run down to that daily pivot a bit earlier. There's not a lot of pips in it though, just beware. It's sort of you're looking at what's that, 13 pips, so very little in the way of and if it is starting with these high lows, high highs coming through on this hourly time frame, if that holds, well, it may just find support into the daily pivot and continue pushing upwards. Okay, Aussie dollar, not going back in time for this and looking at it on the daily basis, because I can tell you it's just chopping along here. Yesterday it did sort of go almost both sides of the range here, just giving us a wide a sort of a broadening wedge. It's hit the daily pivot there. Maybe a trend line across the lows here would see us on a sell basis if it rolls over, but it's not for day trading for me. Canadian dollar, and well, I will come out on this one a little bit further, just show you where we are sitting, and looking at the dailies here, it looks like it's about to tumble through here, but just look at how over the past week or so it's just been range bound. You sort of look at it on this, it looks like you might get a bit of a momentum rollover, but I'm just always wary of these when they sort of suddenly go a little bit. It draws people into the trade, and then it will pull back, or potentially pull back. So yeah, it's already sold off quite a bit this morning, so I'd be very wary of that. But there we are. Okay, other news today, apart from the retail sales, 9:30. As I say, be very aware of that, because the MPC members have all been talking about lower interest rates being dropped. Side of that, 1:30, building permits, FOMC member speaking at 2 o'clock. Then is just check, see who he's speaking to. He's not at a school or something. Just speak about economic outlook and the New Jersey Bank Association. Okay, that could be quite key at 2 p.m. there. So that's it. Have a great one, and I'll speak to you on Monday. Take care. Bye for now.